Hey guys, welcome to my astrology channel. My name's Alexis, and today I'm going to go ahead and cover the Aquarius Moon. So before I go ahead and start the video, I will be putting up a poll after this video so that you guys can tell me which moon sign I should cover next. And I think there's like less than half of the zodiac yet left, so like you guys can totally vote and chances are it could make it. And before I start the video, I do have a lot of social media. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Tumblr, and I have this YouTube channel that you can subscribe for more videos. And I do provide personalized content for those who want readings from me. I do full astrology and tarot readings, and I do personalized monthly readings on Patreon. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get to the video. Now, earlier today, I was trying to film this video and I got too angry to continue. And this should probably tell you a bit about how I feel when it comes to Aquarius Moon. Because, you know, ever since I've ever learned astrology, which is a little while, I've never found an explanation of Aquarius Moon that really sufficed. With the Aquarius Moon, I mean, I've seen people correctly say that those explanations are not the best explanation, but thus far, I don't even know if I've made the best explanation on Aquarius Moon. And I think it just goes to show and say how enigmatic the Aquarius Moon is. Aquarius in itself as a sign is just so fascinating, so mysterious, and so complicated. Like, all the signs are complicated in their own way, but Aquarius in particular, their mystery is very interesting. So before I keep on going on my ramble, I want to go ahead and break down this sign, and I'm just gonna say this real fast because this is probably the number one thing that like angers me when I see anything about the Aquarius Moon. It's the whole I'm detached. End of story. That's it. No explanation. That's all. Like, the number one thing that I see with Aquarius Moon that really pisses me off is the whole Aquarius Moons are detached and they don't really care about your feelings, and yeah, that's it, end of story. Yeah, they're just really heartless. They just don't care about you. It's exaggerated, but you get what I mean. Like come on. Like, that's not the right, or maybe this is not the most pragmatic way of describing this placement. So let me go ahead and, kind of break it down. So with Aquarius is a fixed air sign. Now, what the hell does that mean? Now, when you're air is hot and wet. So it's gross, just kidding. But anyways, when an element is hot, it means a lot of its processes are happening on the outside. Well, it expresses itself best symbolically on the outside. And when an element is wet, it means the element is more likely to, express itself better in situations where they can connect, make things, stick together, find similarities, stuff like that. The problem with making things wet is that sometimes it can make things not easy to distinguish. So you got air right here, and then we have fixed right over here, and I mean, the name kind of says what it says. Like, when a sign wants to be fixed, when a sign is fixed, they ideally want their energy to be delivered in such a way where it's good at maintaining, it's good at making things consistent, it make things, just stay the way they are. Like, something consistent, trustworthy, good for the long run, basically. And then, when you have fixed air, which is Aquarius, you essentially have a sign who wants to maintain mental connections. A sign that wants to maintain outside connections, which can, literally translate to like conversations, rationalization. And this is why Aquarius always gets tied to the humanitarian aspect, because what do humanitarians do? They like to communicate their message, put it out into society, which is an external environment, and keep it that way. That's why a lot of people who revolt, a lot of people who do like, innovative new things, they create new things for the external environment that will stay forever. That's why Aquarius is tied to innovation. So that's why it's so off-putting when people say that Aquarius is detached and they don't really care and that's that, because you have this whole humanitarian aspect right here. Like, Aquarius, they're not really heartless. It may seem that way because they just don't know how to like easily connect. Aquarius at the same time is ruled by Saturn. Saturn is that lonely planet that tries to make things, perfect, realistic, pragmatic. Well, not perfect, but definitely realistic and like at least realistic for sure. And it's so sad when it's, with Aquarius here because in my opinion, now that I'm realizing all of this, Aquarius is quite a tragic sign. Whenever I think of Aquarius, I think of a little house, and imagine this house with a lot of people partying in there, a lot of people being very warm, very happy, very safe. And Aquarius is the one who built the house, but they are the ones sitting outside, just, in the cold, just not really, enjoying the party. And they want to enjoy the party, but for some reason they just can't have that connection. That's the Saturnian part of Aquarius. Aquarius building a house for other people. Aquarius building a warm atmosphere for others. That's Aquarius. But not being able to enjoy that warmth that they've worked so hard to build, that's an Aquarius moon. And it's just not fair to just say that Aquarius moons are just detached, because they're detached because they're trying, okay? They're trying to connect. And if they're not trying to connect with you specifically, maybe it just means they don't trust you. You should not expect someone to trust you right away when it comes to sharing emotions, because, come on, like, emotions are very valuable, and it would kind of suck if you shared your emotions with someone that wasn't worth it. And again, Aquarius is an air sign, a fixed air sign at that. When you have fixed air, like Aquarius, they don't want the trivial conversations. They don't want the conversations that come and go. When an Aquarius, when they find someone who can really give them meaningful, good, thought-provoking conversations that can actually help them in the long run because they're ruled by Saturn, they're like you're probably going to be a keeper. And that's what an Aquarius moon wants. So when it comes to Aquarius moon, when you're trying to comfort them, it's kind of difficult because like they will appear detached. They will appear as if like they may not need you, or they just don't know that they need you. And due to that, I think it's a good idea to just, let them know that you're there for them. And maybe it'd be a good idea to try to really just, play with their mind, let them play and explore when it comes to like mental conversations. Like an Aquarius moon feels their best when they are engaged in some sort of mental activity that is very, very realistic, yet very thought-provoking. That's where Aquarius kind of differs from Gemini, because Gemini, they just like to have fun conversations just for the heck of it. Aquarius is like, no, we're going to have fun with the way we think, but it also needs a purpose. That's where Saturn comes in. So yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to the Aquarius moon and how it kind of expresses itself. And I really hope that I gave some nuance on the whole detachment kind of thing, because I mean, yes, like I partly agree, like there is a sense of detachment there, but at the same time there is this really strong need for connection. Like remember guys, like air signs are wet. Wet is connective. They want to connect. But Aquarius just wants to make sure that whatever connections they make, they'll actually mean something. And I don't think that's wrong. And they want to determine whether something is meaningful by, being rational. And while being rational has its limits, like at least they're trying. So yeah. And then, when your moon's in Aquarius, that means it kind of colors your view about the parent that you perceived to be the nurturing parent. So if you have an Aquarius moon, your nurturing parent may have been, it's a little weird because, it depends on the parent really. The parent could have seemed a little bit cold. They could have seemed a little bit distant, but like I said earlier, like they tried to not be distant. They really tried to make a connection with you. And sometimes this can translate into something awkward, but if you do have a good connection with your Aquarius moon parent, like you've probably had really great conversations with them. You've really, had your mind shaped in such an interesting way by them. So it just kind of depends. And maybe your Aquarius parent at their best try to instill in you that maybe you are meant to change the world, or they kind of gave you an indicator or made you go into the direction that like reformation needs to happen, oppression, all these sorts of things should not be the norm, like change should be the norm. But at the same time, you know, Aquarius being ruled by Saturn, maybe these parents had a lot of expectations for you. Maybe they wanted you to act a certain way in society, like, oh, hey, don't act this way. It's not going to be very productive out there, and you gotta learn how to move. You gotta learn how to be flexible out there. Aquarius is known to be the more, you know, adaptable sign when it comes to Saturn, because when you're out there in the world, you gotta know how to change, you gotta know how to adapt, and Aquarius masters that to an art, and that's what your parents may want you to do if you have an Aquarius moon, but it can go either way. It could either be for the better or for the worst. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my video on Aquarius moon. Again, I'm gonna put up a poll after this, and yeah, hopefully I just gave some justice to an Aquarius moon, because I have a roommate who has an Aquarius moon. She's so strong. Like, I mean, I guess I'm just biased because I have a Libra moon. I'm very airy also, and unlike an Aquarius moon, like a Libra moon, they're a lot better at making connections, even though they're not really deep. Well, usually they don't start off deep, but like the archetype of Aquarius kind of makes me feel a certain way, because I always found it to be fascinating. I've always found it to be fascinating, and I don't know, it's just an energy that I wished was understood better, I guess. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys, I don't know. Okay, bye guys.